One of the questions that I have been asked in the latest interview is to create an API using SpringBoot. With that, I would like to share a very small demo. Create an API by creating a project. It's going to be a SpringBoot project. We're only going to use Spring Web because we're only going to create an API, something simple. I will name it API Spring Boot. I will use Spring Web dependency. With that said, the first things I will do is create my class, and I will create a class or a student with ID and name as an attribute. In this class, as I mentioned, I will have a integer that is ID. I will have a string name. In order to make easy to debug, I will use my over generate to string method. Now I will generate my constructor. I only want to get a list of students, so I am not going to use the set. I only want to get the name and the ID. So I will select only getters and get ID and get name as a parameter from my constructor. Now it's time for me to create the controller. The controller is what will control my method. I will say I will have a method there where that will talk um, to the server and will return the data. With that said, I will create class name controller student controller. I will use Spring annotation press controller. In the main class. Over here, I will create a method to get a list of students. With that said, I will create a method that will give me a list of students. With that said, the type will be student, the type of the class, because I want to generate the entire list of student, the entire object. I will import Java utility list and I will return a list of student. I will create my student from here. I will create the student I want to return. With that said, I will use the array to list array the list arrays as a list. Now I'm going to build a new student object with an ID 1 and with the name Jose. I will generate another student with ID 2 and name Maria. Kitty. I want to run this program, import 8084 because most of my application already taken. With that said, I'm going to go into the resources folder where the application property is. I will use 8085 as the port to run the application. I will start the program and I will run the program as a Java application. So the program is working. I will stop the program because I still have something to do. Now that I have my controller, in the method, I had to map my list of student to an URL. With that said, I will use request mapping annotation and I will map the list to the student URL. I will start the program again and I will run it. And now I'm going to go to my browser and type the phone number and the URL that I requested. And now I see that I created my API and I have two responses. Summary. In this video, we have seen a very common question. Create an API using Spring Boot. And for that, you just create a class with attribute. In this, my case is the attribute is student ID and name. There you um, proceed to build a constructor and the getter and set and the getters and setter according to your method. In my case, I only use get because I only wanted to get a list of students. Then in the controller, you use two annotation. One in the main class, that is res controller, and in the method where you're going to map your data to the URL, you use the annotation request mapping with the path that is going to show in the URL. In the property, application property, you specify the port where would you like the application to run, as shown in this small demonstration. Thank you, and hopefully you are going to create a little API using a very simple class when your interviewer asks you to do it. Thank you so much. Bye.